You think silence means nothing. It doesn't. Silence is a decision, and when someone chooses it around you, they already understand you better than you understand yourself. People don't fear loud enemies, they prepare for those. They fear the quiet person in the room, the one who just watches. No arguments, no defending, no explaining. Because when someone stops reacting, they stop giving you information. And the human brain hates empty space, so it starts filling it with doubt. Did I say something wrong? Are they angry? Are they judging me? You begin talking more, explaining more, fixing things nobody even accused you of. And without realizing it, you expose your insecurities just to escape the discomfort they never created. Silence didn't attack you. It made you reveal yourself. That's why arguments get louder when one person stays calm. The calm person controls the emotional temperature. The other person starts chasing closure, chasing reassurance, chasing a reaction. Because reactions feel like connection. But silence feels like being psychologically invisible. And humans can't tolerate invisibility. We would rather be yelled at than ignored. So we keep talking, oversharing, apologizing, proving, while the quiet person learns everything. Your triggers, your fears, your need for approval. They didn't ask questions. You answered them anyway. And here's the part most people never realize. The person who speaks less is usually the one deciding what happens next. If you started seeing this in real life, you'll never hear conversations the same way again. Subscribe. The next truth most people learn too late. Most people think communication is about talking. It isn't. It's about control of attention. And silence controls attention better than words ever can. When someone keeps speaking, your brain relaxes because it understands the situation. But when someone suddenly becomes quiet, your mind starts scanning for danger. You replay the last sentence you said, then the one before it, then the whole conversation. Nothing actually happened, yet your heartbeat changes. That's because silence removes predictability, and the human brain treats unpredictability like a threat. You're no longer reacting to the person. You're reacting to your own thoughts. Watch what happens in a normal conversation. The person who talks more is usually trying to manage how they are perceived. They clarify, they justify, they add details nobody asked for. Not because they want to, but because they feel pressure. Silence creates psychological pressure. It forces the other person to fill the gap. And while they are filling it, they reveal priorities, fears, jealousy, insecurity, and intentions. People confess without being interrogated, not to the person who asks the most questions, but to the person who simply waits. This is why emotionally strong people don't rush to respond. They pause, not to be rude, to observe. Reactions are expensive. Every reaction tells others what affects you, what annoys you, what hurts you, what you're desperate to protect. Once someone knows your emotional triggers, they don't need to argue with you anymore. They can guide you. A single sentence at the right moment can control someone more than a long speech ever could. But they can only find that sentence if you keep talking while they keep watching. And here's where it becomes uncomfortable. Silence doesn't just expose others. It exposes you to yourself. When the conversation stops, there's nothing to distract you. No noise to hide behind. Suddenly, you become aware of how badly you want approval, how fast you try to fix tension, how quickly you apologize even when you did nothing wrong. Many people aren't afraid of someone else's silence. They're afraid of what their own behavior looks like inside it. Because in quiet moments, you can hear your need for validation louder than any voice. Pay attention to people who cannot tolerate pauses. They interrupt quickly. They joke immediately. They send another message if you don't reply fast enough. It feels harmless, but psychologically it reveals dependency on feedback. They don't need conversation, they need confirmation. Confirmation they're accepted. Confirmation they didn't upset you. Confirmation they still matter. And the less confirmation they receive, the more they chase it. which slowly shifts control of the interaction away from them, without a single word being spoken. Over time, people begin adjusting their behavior around the quiet person without realizing it. They soften their tone. They explain their choices. They become careful with jokes they would normally make. No one told them to do it. No rule was set. Silence quietly sets the boundary. Because when someone doesn't react emotionally, you lose the ability to predict them, and humans instinctively respect what they cannot easily read. We trust patterns. We relax around predictable reactions. But when reactions disappear, the brain switches from comfort to awareness. You start thinking before you speak, and that small shift changes the entire power balance of a relationship. This is also why silence feels heavier after a mistake. If someone yells at you, your brain defends itself. You argue back, justify, or mentally dismiss them as emotional. But when they just look at you and say nothing, your own conscience becomes louder than any accusation. You begin explaining things they never asked about. You try to repair a situation they never defined as broken. Because silence removes the opponent. There is no enemy to fight, so your mind turns inward. And most people are far harsher on themselves than anyone else could ever be. Digital life made this effect even stronger. A message seen but not answered. A typing bubble that appears, then disappears. Hours without a reply. Nothing physically happened, yet your thoughts become restless. You check your phone again, then again. You reread what you sent and suddenly it sounds wrong. Maybe too much. Maybe too needy. Maybe misunderstood. The other person did nothing actively to you, but your mind created scenarios, emotions, and reactions on its own. Silence online doesn't just pause communication. It forces imagination, and imagination is rarely calm. And once you notice this pattern, you start seeing a strange truth. The person who is always available is rarely valued, and the person who cannot be emotionally rushed often is. Not because they are playing games, but because they are not reacting on impulse. They respond when they decide to, not when pressure demands it. That delay creates weight behind their words. A single reply carries more impact than 10 immediate ones. People listen more carefully. They remember it longer. And slowly, conversations stop being about who speaks the most and start revolving around the one who speaks last. Eventually, you realize silence isn't about ignoring people. It's about not surrendering your emotional reactions for free. Most conflicts don't grow because of disagreement. They grow because both sides react instantly. Instant replies, instant anger, instant defense. But when one person pauses, the momentum breaks. The emotional wave has nowhere to land, and the other person is left facing their own intensity without resistance. Many arguments end not when someone wins, but when someone refuses to emotionally participate. Silence doesn't solve every situation, but it removes fuel. And without fuel, even the loudest conflict burns out. This is why some individuals seem strangely respected without trying. They don't chase the last word. They don't rush to correct every opinion. They don't prove themselves in every conversation. They choose carefully where their attention goes. And attention is value. When you give it too easily, people stop noticing it. When you give it intentionally, people start adjusting to keep it. Over time, others speak more thoughtfully around them, not out of fear, but because calm presence forces awareness. Words become heavier, reactions become slower, and relationships quietly change direction. The unsettling part is this. Silence works not because it manipulates people, but because it reveals them. The person who respects you will grow calmer in it. The person who needs control will grow uncomfortable. The person who values connection will approach gently, and the person who only needed validation will keep pushing for a reaction. Same silence, different reactions, which means the quiet moments you usually try to escape are actually showing you who someone really is. In the next video, I'll explain the behavior people show right before they start losing respect for you, and almost nobody notices it while it's happening. Subscribe so you don't miss it.